Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how's your feeling today? I hope you guys in a good condition right now. And previously, I would like to say thank you so much for giving your time to watch this video. I know you might be getting bored because of my contents, but I guarantee this is my last video. In semester. And so guys, please keep watching until the end because in this video I'm gonna make a review for 10 articles that I've read before. So without any further ado, let's get to the point. Okay guys, the articles that I would like to review is concerned about vocabulary learning strategies. So let's move to the first article. Alright, for the first article, I have an article with the title Vocabulary Learning Strategies of EFL Students at Tertiary Level. So EFL is English as a Foreign Language Students that in tertiary, and tertiary is kind of like level upper than senior high school. So this level after you graduated in senior high school. So this article is written by Ahmad Yudi Wahyudi, Reza Pustika, and Marta Widya Witsari. And this article published in November 2021. So the purpose of this article is to investigate the vocabulary learning strategies used by EFL students at the tertiary levels, of course. The study aims to understand how these students learn and retain new vocabulary as English is a required subject in Indonesian tertiary education. So the result of the study, the researchers indicate that the cognitive strategy is the most frequently used strategy by EFF learners at the tertiary level. This strategy involves using new words in sentences to remember them over time. And the least frequently used strategy is making a mental image to remember words, and such as that teachers and practitioners should consider adjusting their pedagogical practices to better support EFL learners in their vocabulary acquisition. Okay, for the second articles, I have an article with the title The Impact of WhatsApp on EFL Students' Vocabulary Learning, that written by Elias Ben Salim. Okay, this article published in March 2018. So the purpose of this article is to explore the effectiveness of WhatsApp in enhancing the vocabulary knowledge of English as a foreign language students. The study compared the traditional methods of vocabulary instruction with the use of WhatsApp. And 40 Arab EFL students at the elementary level were involved, with 21 students in the experimental group using WhatsApp for vocabulary assignments and 19 students in the control group using the traditional paper and pencil method. So the result of this article showed that the WhatsApp group significantly outperformed the traditional group on vocabulary tests. Additionally, the participants had positive attitudes towards learning new vocabulary items via WhatsApp. And the study suggests that WhatsApp can be a valuable tool for vocabulary learning because this is enhancing motivation and productivity among students. Okay, now let's move to the third article. So the third article, I have a title with Vocabulary Learning Strategies, or we can say VLS, employed by learners of English as a foreign language, or EFL. So this article is written by Parshnol Ravisan Gondar and published in April 2019. The purpose of this article itself to explore the use of different vocabulary learning strategies among adult English as a foreign language learners. The research employed quantitative method with 53 participants who completed a questionnaire survey. The study found that learners used various strategies, with social strategies like asking native speakers, teachers, and classmates being the most frequently used. And cognitive and memory strategies were also the most frequently used. However, metacognitive strategies were the least used, likely to learners focus on exam-related materials rather than long-term vocabulary improvement. Alright, now let's move to the fourth articles. So the fourth article, I have vocabulary learning strategies used by Thai high school students in science, language, and English program. This article, written by Panada Thien Tatong and Apisak Soking. This article published in June 2021. Okay, the purpose of this article is to investigate the frequency of different vocabulary learning strategies used by Thai high school students across various academic programs. And this article also examined the relationship between these strategies. The study aims to identify the most and the least frequently used strategy and to understand how the learning context influences the participants' use of these strategies. The result of the article is that the researchers indicate that determination strategies are the most frequently used, while memory strategies are the least frequently used. The findings also show that the learning context, such as the program of the study, like science, language, and English, influences the participants' use of vocabulary learning strategies. And additionally, the qualitative data collected through semi-structured structured interviews revealed the variety of vocabulary learning strategies and the degrees of strategy use. Okay, for the fifth article, I have EFL students' attitudes toward learner autonomy in English vocabulary learning. This article was written by Thao Quoc Tran on August 2020. The purpose of this article is to investigate EFL students' attitudes toward learner autonomy, or LA, in English vocabulary learning. The study aims to understand how students perceive and utilize LA in their vocabulary acquisition. Alright, the result of this article shows that EFL students generally have a positive attitude towards LA, because participants demonstrated a clear understanding of the concept and its role in language learning. However, the study also found that students often do not practice autonomous learning consistently. Despite recognizing its importance, the findings suggest that there is a correlation between learners' LA levels and the use of language learning strategies. The study also highlights the need for more effective strategies to promote and support LA in English vocabulary learning. Okay, now let's move to the sixth article. So on the sixth article, I have the effect of augmented reality to motivation and performance in EFL vocabulary learning. This article was written by Teng Tang Thai, and this article published on June 2020. Okay, so the purpose of this article is to examine the differences in students' English vocabulary learning performance and instructional materials motivation between traditional lecturing and augmented reality, or EAR method. The study aimed to determine whether AR enhances learning outcomes and motivation compared to traditional methods. Okay, so the result of this article that the researcher indicates that the instructional materials, motivation, and performance of students taught using AR were superior to those taught using traditional methods. The study found that AR significantly improved student motivation and reduced anxiety levels, and leading to better learning outcomes. The qualitative findings also identified the opportunities and obstacles associated with using AR and traditional methods in English vocabulary learning. Okay, so next to the 7 articles. So in the 7 articles, I have investigating the effect of flipped vocabulary learning via online dictionary on EFL learners' listening comprehension. This article published on September 2022, and this article was written by Saman Ebadi, Fauza Nozari, Ahmed Raudan Salman. Alright, the purpose of this article is to evaluate the impact of flipped vocabulary learning using an online dictionary on the listening comprehension of English as a foreign language or EFL learners. The result of this article indicate that the flipped vocabulary learning method, which involves pre-learning vocabulary through an online dictionary before listening to audio materials, significantly improves EFL learners' listening comprehension. The study also found that this approach enhances learners' ability to understand spoken English, and suggesting the pre-learning vocabulary through an online dictionary can be an effective strategy for improving listening skills. Alright, let's move to the 8 articles. The 8 articles have the impact of individual differences in learning styles on the choice of vocabulary learning strategies. And this article was written by Rashid El-Yazidi and published in January 2023. The purpose of this article is to explore the various strategies used by English as a foreign language learners to learn vocabulary and to examine their effectiveness. The study aims to understand how individual differences in learning styles influence the choice of vocabulary learning strategies and how these differences affect the effectiveness of those strategies. Okay, so and then the result of this article that the researcher indicate that there is a significant positive association between acquiring new vocabulary through listening and utilizing technological application during vocabulary acquisition. This article suggests that individuals who enjoy learning vocabulary through listening are more likely to use technology to aid their learning. However, other learning styles such as visual, kinesthetic, and tactile didn't show a significant correlation with the learning strategies used to learn new vocabulary. And these findings have an important implication for EFL teachers who can use this knowledge to design effective and personalized vocabulary learning activities. Okay, now we move to the 9th article. So in this article, I have an effect of in-class activities based on vocabulary learning strategies on Saudi EFL learners' achievement and perspectives. So this article was written by Hayat Rashid Hamzah Almari. This article published on May 2023. Okay, so the purpose of this article is to investigate the impact of in-class activities based on vocabulary learning strategies on the achievement and perspectives of Saudi English as a foreign language or EFL learners. The study aims to identify the effectiveness of these strategies in improving students' vocabulary mastery and understanding. Okay, so the result of this article indicate that the lack of students' motivation, laziness, and limited understanding are significant factors hindering the mastery of vocabulary. The researcher also suggests that engaging in class activities based on vocabulary learning strategies can improve students' vocabulary knowledge and motivation, thereby enhancing their overall language learner experience. Okay, now we move to the 10th articles, which is the last articles in this video. So I have an article with the title Scale of Vocabulary Learning Strategies for Learners of Turkish as a Foreign Language, with concern a scale development study. This article was written by Deniz Milan Lioglu and published on June 2020. The purpose of this article is to develop a scale to determine the vocabulary learning strategies used by learners of Turkish as a foreign language. The study focuses to identify the strategies employed by learners to enhance their independent learning and vocabulary mastery. Okay, so the result of this article that Deniz Milan Glue indicates that the developed scale consists of 4 factors. First is learning process, and second technological material, and the third psychological process, and the last visual materials. Okay, this scale demonstrates high internal consistency with a Kronbach-APA value of 0.86. The study also found that the scale can be used to assess learners' vocabulary learning strategies effectively, and also with providing insights into their learning processes and potential areas for improvement. Okay guys, I think those are the short reviews of each article that I can explain to you. And thank you so much for paying attention until the end. Hopefully those articles will be useful for you sometimes, and I think it's enough for me, and see you later. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.